You look in the mirror, flex your stomach as hard as you can, and try to find those deep cuts. But there is nothing there. It is incredibly frustrating. You are dieting, your arms are getting leaner, and you are doing hundreds of sit-ups and twisting crunches, but you still look like you don't even lift when you take your shirt off. It is easy to assume you just have terrible genetics and that a shredded, deep six-pack is physically impossible for you. But the truth is, your genetics are likely fine. The problem is the way most people are taught to train. You are following a standard mechanical model that actually works against the biological design of your midsection. To understand why, we have to look at your biological hardware. Your spine is a stack of bones separated by fragile gel-filled discs. Think of those discs like jelly donuts. Every single time you do a crunch or a sit-up, you are violently flexing your spine forward. You are squeezing the front of that jelly donut, pushing the jelly straight toward the back of your spine, right where your nerves live. This is why your repeated flexion is a common path to a herniated disc. There is an aesthetic penalty here too. Crunches focus on shortening the rectus abdominis, the front six-pack muscles, but they do so without creating internal tension. This mechanical crunching motion increases intra-abdominal pressure that pushes your internal organs outward. Once this movement fails to engage muscles that pull the waist inward, you reinforce a posture where your stomach pushes away from the spine. Instead of carving out deep abs, you are training the midsection to look thick and distended. To fix this, you have to change how you apply force. Your core was not biologically designed to create movement, it was designed to resist it. Deep beneath the surface is a layer of muscle called the transverse abdominis. As you can see on this model, its fibers wrap horizontally around your spine and organs. It acts as an internal corset. When you train it to stay tight, it physically pulls your waist inward, making your midsection look narrow and flat. The foundation of this is the hollow body hold. You lay flat on the floor, but you must violently tilt your pelvis backward to crush your lower back into the ground. If you can slide a hand under your spine, your core is not engaged. You must erase that gap. Now point your toes, squeeze your legs together, and lift them 6 inches off the floor. Reach your arms back, hovering just above the ground. By locking your ribs to your pelvis and refusing to let your back arch, you force the transverse abdominis to fire at maximum capacity. You hold this until your entire body starts shaking. We then move to the RKC plank. Standard planks are often useless because people rest on their joints while their lower backs sag. In an RKC plank, you squeeze your glutes as hard as humanly possible. This tucks the pelvis and protects the lower back. Without moving your body, try to drag your elbows toward your toes and your toes toward your elbows. You are creating a massive isometric contraction, trying to fold the floor in half. The tension is so high, you should only be able to hold this for 10 or 15 seconds. These exercises teach your deep abdominal wall to maintain high levels of tension. This is how you begin to lock the internal corset into place, effectively changing your body's resting posture. Once you have baseline tension, you need to combat dynamic force factors, starting with the hollow body ab wheel rollout. The ab wheel is a powerful tool, but if your spine arches like a banana as you roll out, you are putting extreme stress on your spinal discs. To do this correctly, drop to your knees and immediately tuck your pelvis. As you roll forward, only go as far as you can while maintaining that tucked position. The second you feel your lower back start to dip, pull back. Look at the leverage here. Your abs are fighting to prevent your spine from snapping into extension. This forces the transverse abdominis to wrap tight, while the six-pack muscles act as a shield, making your entire midsection more resilient. You also have to address rotational force. Many people do heavy dumbbell side bends, which adds thick muscle mass to the sides of the waist. This makes your midsection look wider and blockier. A better option is the anti-rotation Pallof press. Set a cable at chest height, stand sideways, and pull the handle to the center of your chest. Brace your core and press the cable straight out. The weight will try to violently twist your torso back toward the machine. Use your obliques and deep core fibers to resist that twist, holding the lockout for a 2-second count. Neutralizing this rotational force cinches the waist from the sides. It creates a deeper V-taper without adding the blocky mass that comes from traditional side bending exercises. Your body responds to the specific mechanical loads you place upon it. If you want a different result, you have to apply a different type of tension. The first step is to move away from repetitive spinal flexion and traditional crunches. Instead, implement these 4 movements. Focus on strict isometric holds and resisting extension. This forces the midsection to pull inward rather than pushing out. By prioritizing anti-movement over flexion, you stop fighting against your own biology. You engage the internal corset, flatten the waist, and carve out the level of definition that standard training simply cannot produce.